In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you ratholes on center that are so good no one will ever want to raid you. Hello Dodo crew, welcome back to another video about Ark Survival Ascended. Grab a bottle of water and let's get straight into it. Before we start, I have tested all of these ratholes, and because I know it's important to you, this video only features ratholes where you can spawn in beds using official settings. Some of these ratholes are not really new and have already been discussed by other creators. But I chose these ratholes because I believe they are the strongest ratholes where you can build without breaking any rules. The first rathole is located at the top right under the floating island in the middle of the map at around 35.7 and 33.3. And it is an extremely strong location that goes vertically into this pillar. The entire rathole is a vertical hole that goes straight up into the pillar and offers a lot of space. The narrow entrance makes it super easy to defend as it is much too high up to simply build into it. Without a Quetzal or a Zeppelin, it is basically impossible to raid you. The best thing to do to defend this spot is to simply place turrets on the mesh all over the walls and perhaps building a small grid and the entrance so that PTs or snow owls cannot simply fly in. At the top of the rathole there is a small natural platform where you can build quite well, and if you need more space you can easily place cliff platforms and continue building on them. Oh, and on a side note, as of I'm editing this, I'm about 9k subs. If you could sub to help me reaching my goal of 20k subs by the end of the year, I would greatly appreciate it. My second rathole at 90.3 and 37.8 may not be as strong as the first one, but it's an excellent spot to build up when you are starting out to play. In the redwood on the lower left side, there's a small cave to the right under this waterfall with a relatively large niche where you can build quite well. This spot may not be so easy to defend, but you have a lot of space and can either breed or build a base at the beginning. It might not be super easy to defend that spot, but with a couple of turrets you should be fine until you found a better spot. There are large amounts of resources near this spot that you can use, especially at the start. Spot number 3 at 38.9 and 28.6 is extremely well hidden, but unfortunately it's relatively small. However, even if it doesn't seem like it, the most important things still fit in this spot. This location consists of two smaller ratholes, whereby the left one really can't hide more than 1 or 2 boxes. The right hand rathole is a bit stronger, and behind a crouch part there's a small room that can at least fit chem benches, teleporters and generators. You won't be able to stay long in this spot if you want to build more, breed or have a larger base. But especially for the beginning, this is a good spot where you can really easily defend your loot without anyone finding you. Rathole number 4 is enormous. It is located at 46.8 and 19.4 between the southern snow mountain and the green obelisk. There's a relatively small hole in the wall which you can use to enter a huge area consisting of several rooms. The big disadvantage of this location is the entrance on the floor and the poorly placed stone through which you can also enter the spot. But fortunately, very few people know about it. I would recommend building on the right side of the rathole in particular, as there are several rooms that can only be entered by crouching. Back at the floating island in the middle of the map at 33.9 and 33.6, there's an extremely large and really strong spot with a super small entrance in this natural bridge. It starts off relatively narrow and then opens up into an enormous space with loads of rooms. In this spot there are a few natural platforms that you can build on, but you can also just place cliff platforms and make the space you need. Unfortunately, the location itself is not high enough in the air, which means that someone could build into it. So if you want to build in this location, you should wait until you at least have tech turrets, because before that it is possible to raid you when you're offline. However, you have a huge amount of space and can bring, build and breed anything you want in here. My spot number 6 is located on the left edge of the map, west of the green obelisk, near the large underground areas. In one of the archways at 50.3 and 6.6, there is a super small hole that no creature can fit through. Behind it, there is a drop part, where you fall into a huge spot that goes extremely far down and then offers a lot of space. Even though it won't be easy to bring everything into this spot and make it look nice, you'll have enough space to do whatever you want. If the ground isn't flat enough for you, just place a few cliff platforms to create more even space and build more beautifully. You can easily build several levels here on which you can do different things, so that everything looks a bit tidier and more organized. At 23.5 and 13.6, close to the western underground near the green obelisk, you will find this pillar or mountain or whatever you want to call it. If you look at it from above, you can see that there is a hole in this pillar. There are a few of these in this region. It looks as if someone has copy and pasted them here. You can now enter the pillar through this hole and it opens into an enormous space that you can build on from top to bottom. There are endless cracks where you can hide stuff without anyone ever finding it. At the same time, you can build an immense base that is extremely difficult to raid, especially in the beginning. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of spots where you can drop in from above, and that's for sure the spot's biggest weakness. But unlike other spots, I find this one a bit better, because the actual part where you would build your base is much further back, so that the drop part isn't as bad. On the other side of the underground, my spot number 8 is located opposite the previous spot at 51.5 and 7.1 in this pillar. Compared to the previous location, this spot is relatively small, but that's not a problem because it's still extremely large. However, it's not really high, so you have to be careful. The small entrance through which no creature can pass opens into a relatively large and very wide room. This room is quite easy to defend, but it's not the actual spot where we're going to build. If you go further into the back of the location, it opens up into a really high room with several small natural platforms at the top where you can easily build. You can also easily create more space with cliff platforms so that you can build and breed. My spot number 9 is located at 64 and 64, right behind the skull. At the bottom right of this small stone platform, there is a small hole through which you can crawl into an extremely powerful spot. Within this spot, there are basically 2 crouch parts that you have to raid, which is what makes this spot so strong. Even though it's not the biggest, it offers enough space for most things and you can still do whatever you want. The entrance to this spot is seriously too strong, and if you build here, it will be really difficult to raid you. Honestly, I wouldn't want to do that, and I would just leave it alone. I regularly join servers and find that these spots are already built. So once again, I have spots that you can use to secure your loot if you can't find any other spots. There are, for example, some waterfalls without water on the map where you can build. You're not really safe in these air pockets, but many people simply don't know about them. And from the outside, it's incredibly difficult to see if anyone is building there. Most of the time, these are the places that no one raids, because you wouldn't expect there to be anything. Spot number 10 is basically just a crack in the wall at 49.3 and 7.7. No creatures can get through it, because it's super narrow, and it opens up into an extremely large vertical rathole. There is enough space here for everything your heart desires, and you can do whatever you want because the spot is just really strong. There are endless cracks where you can hide stuff without anyone ever finding it. At the same time, you can build an immense base that is extremely difficult to raid, especially in the beginning. With a few turrets, the entrance is already extremely well defended, and you can live here for a long time. Breeding large creatures will be a bit difficult, but otherwise you can do whatever you want because you will for sure not be raided in this location. I hope you liked this video and I'm thrilled to read if this video has helped you. Hit the like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm and consider subbing to the channel. Alright, Frodo.